if B is an acute angle and cotangent of B is equal to 6, find the exact value of sine of B. So B is an acute angle, which means that it's less than 90 degrees. So it could look something like this, right? So what we can do is draw a line going straight down so that we can create a 90-degree angle, so that we can use the SOHCAHTOA method, right? Those ratios. So we know that cotangent of B is the reciprocal of the tangent function, so it's the same thing as 1 over tangent of B. But recall, SOHCAHTOA, in particular, the TOA means that tangent is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. That's what the O and the A stand for, right? So 1 over tangent of B is equal to 1 over the opposite side over the adjacent side, right? So it's the reciprocal of that. And when you take the reciprocal, you just flip the fraction. So this is going to be, cotangent of B is going to be adjacent over opposite. And since cotangent of B is 6, well, we can rewrite that as 6 over 1, right? Because it's the same thing. So we can say that the adjacent side is equal to 6 and the opposite side is equal to 1, right? I'm just pairing up the denominators together and the numerators together, since we have that ratio. So now in our triangle, we can say the side adjacent to B, which is this side down here, is 6, and the side opposite to B is 1. So now we have two sides of a 90-degree triangle, and we can actually find the third side using the Pythagorean theorem. So since this is h, the hypotenuse, the Pythagorean theorem says that the hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the sides squared. So 1 squared plus 6 squared. So h squared is equal to 1 plus 36, which is 37, and then h is equal to plus or minus the square root of 37. But since we're talking about distances here, we don't actually need to consider that minus at all. So our hypotenuse is now square root of 37. And so now finally, since we want to find sine of B, well, what's sine of B? So, right? So sine of B is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. So writing down here and under this triangle, sine of B is going to be the opposite side, which is just 1, over the hypotenuse, which is square root of 37. And since they want the exact value, then we don't plug this in our calculator and simplify. This is as good as it gets. So that's the value of sine B.